Not just the presidential election taking place next week, 11 states are also selecting their next governors, and that includes the battleground state of North Carolina. Josh Stein is running to become that state's next governor, currently serves as North Carolina's Attorney General, and joins us from the state capitol in Raleigh. And Mr. Stein, you have this battleground state that everybody's focusing on, which means it's got some purple dynamics. How do you make inroads as a Democrat in those less predictable purple areas?
Well, we're definitely a purple state. Our races always go down to the wire. And the way you win is pretty basic. You talk about issues that matter to folks. Public safety, making sure their neighborhoods are safe. That the economy continues to grow and works for more people. That we get costs down. That our educational system is excellent and our teachers are well paid. Because those issues that I just talked about, they're not red issues, they're not blue issues, they are North Carolina issues. And if folks see you out there fighting for them and delivering for them, they'll reward you and hire you again.
I suspect some voters, maybe some from the red column, some from the blue column, are asking you how you'd be different than the current Democratic governor, Governor Cooper. How do you answer that question?
Well, I think exceptionally highly of Governor Cooper, known him very well for a quarter of a century now. I worked for him for 8 years when he was Attorney General. He is thoughtful, hardworking, focused on solving people's real problems, and that's the kind of governor I will aim to be.
Well, he has navigated this supermajority North Carolina has in its Republican-controlled Senate, which has veto power to a degree on so much of what the governor does. How are you going to navigate that if Republicans keep that supermajority in the legislature?
Well, the one good thing about the elections in North Carolina is all 170 legislative seats are up for election. So we have the chance to break the supermajority that exists of Republicans in North Carolina in each chamber. We're only down one seat in the House and one seat in the Senate. And there are a lot of swing districts out there, so we're working hard to get out our supporters so that we can break the supermajority and, frankly, restore balance to state government. I work well on a number of issues with the Republican General Assembly. We eliminated the largest backlog of untested rape kits in the country together. We have tackled the opioid and fentanyl crisis together. We have modernized our laws to protect kids from child sex abuse and to deal with the threats that artificial intelligence pose. So we've been working together well, and I can continue to do that. But I think we will work best if neither side has total power in state government. That's why I'm working exceptionally hard to break the supermajorities in the General Assembly.
Well, let's talk about the Republican Lieutenant Governor, your opponent, Mark Robinson. Some have called on him to resign after that CNN report that posted a slew of incendiary comments on a pornographic website about a decade ago. Robinson has denied the report and accused you and your team of leaking that story to CNN. How did you respond to that allegation, and how is this controversy impacting your strategy as you campaign?
Well, I learned about the controversy in the same time everybody else who watched CNN at 4 p.m. that afternoon. But look, the CNN had allegations that were despicable, absolutely despicable, calling himself a Nazi, glorifying Hitler, glorifying slavery. I mean, just terrible things. But anybody who has studied this man and the things that are on his Facebook page today know that he is unfit for any office of public trust, let alone the governorship of North Carolina. I mean, he says women are not called to lead. He says women only have abortions because they cannot keep their skirts down. He called public school teachers wicked, gay people he's called filth. This summer, from, of all places, a church pulpit, he yelled that some folks need killing. Those were his words. This is not the vision, the temperament, the character of anyone we need in office in North Carolina.
And reaffirming that he did deny the details of the CNN report. Let's shift to the hurricane. Hurricane Helene has still left the state in recovery mode, but all that misinformation was spread about the federal government's response to it, including by former President Trump. What's your measure on how federal officials are doing helping Western North Carolina?
They're working hard. The state is working hard. Local government is working hard. Nonprofit organizations are working hard. People are working hard. The extent of devastation is really hard to process. Essentially, it went from Georgia all the way to the Virginia line, counties wide. And people's lives have been turned completely upside down. I mean, many people lost loved ones. Many people lost their homes and all their possessions. Many small business owners have built up years of sweat equity, and their businesses just all washed away in the flood. So the scale is immense. We need to be there for the people of Western North Carolina. And when I say we, I mean everyone in this country. The local governments, there is no way they have the resources to respond. There's not enough resources in North Carolina to respond. We need the federal government and our federal representatives to go to bat for us, and I believe that they will, to make sure that we have an adequate set of appropriations to respond to the level and extent of the damage.
In this home stretch to Election Day, a candidate's time is especially valuable, so we're grateful you shared it with us. Attorney General Josh Stein in Raleigh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.